I'm
How
sorry.
can I help you?
Oh, I'm dealing with a uh, high conflict co-parenting situation. I've been trying to convince the judge to look at some of my evidence. Unfortunately, she's only preoccupied with me with taking documents of counselors, supervisors, therapists. And I keep trying to bring up the fact that she keeps breaking the law. I have 2 counts of perjury. I have I have like 11. I have 11 uh, Article 3028 violations. Uh, I have 2 counts of perjury. I have 2 counts of lying under oath. I have about 23 violations of visitations where she calls me on unscheduled, and I keep bringing that up, and I keep getting shut down by the judge, and I don't know how, and I think it's because I'm the I'm the biological parent. She doesn't want to hear anything except that did you go to therapy? Did you go to counseling? Did you do enough? And then we'll talk about what happens with you. We never talk about the laws that my ex-wife has broken. We never talk about the court order supervisors that she continuously curses out and hangs up on and is extremely rude to. I've been trying to, and basically I've been trying to give the judge evidence, and she never wants to acknowledge or even give a level of accountability that my ex-wife might just be breaking the law because she's pretty, and she doesn't want to be told that you shouldn't trust her because she wants to keep trusting this pretty woman who has full custody of my son, and is being overly cruel because simply I think it comes out of fear that she's afraid she's going to lose my son. But I mean, fairness aside, I was primary caregiver, but these are all things that the judge is not going to acknowledge. All that she sees is my medical records that my ex-wife assigned when the restraining order was made active, and I'm trying to get the to I'm trying to basically, I guess a term is discredit her because for some reason, regardless of the evidence I keep trying to give to the judge on paper, she still deems that my ex-wife is somehow more credible, and she extended when the 2 year mark came up for the restraining order to get expired. She extended for 5 years, and I'm just simply baffled by all the evidence I keep trying to present to the judge and how it just keeps all getting ignored.
Mhm. Um, so she re-upped this thing with her.
Yeah,
I'm looking at it online. Is your wife or Karina Ortiz?
yeah. How'd you know?
Yeah, I'm looking up your case. I just took your name and looked up your case.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
looking at it online. Um,
Yeah, and
okay.
she's a special ed technician. So I guess she's a
Okay.
high profile victim.
Uh, on May 4th, there was May 4th, and that's when they re-upped it for 5 more years. Wow.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
Even though there's a mountain of evidence to show that my ex-wife is continuously breaking the law, yeah, I don't know. It's like it always comes down to I've given the judge. I've already done what the judge said. I already did all the therapy. I did all the classes, and I've tried and I've taken my ex-wife to court plenty of times to show that every violation, but it never gets acknowledged. It's the judge keeps looking at all the evidence that I keep bringing up, and it's never about anything that my ex-wife only does. There's a phrase that I keep hearing on the fourth floor of the downtown courtroom. It's she can do whatever she wants. You're the one with the restraining order, so don't worry about anything that she does because it's not about her. It's about you. But my ex-wife has been legitimately has lies there on the temporary restraining order, more lies on police reports, and it has plenty of evidence that she's extremely hostile toward supervisors, even the professional ones and the non-professional ones. I keep showing the judge these documents of the text message that goes between the supervisors. I just recently have a new police report because she called the police because I was 2 minutes late for the for the next for a visit, and she basically tried to call the police and say he's violating the restraining order by becoming 100. But we were already scheduled to see, and this level of hostility and high conflict attitude, it doesn't come out in the declarations. And I don't know if falsifying evidence is illegal, but she basically took everything from talking parents that was meant to be taken out of context by only providing like a little bit of evidence. But when I and there's 11 counts of that, and but Your Honor, I'm sorry. You see, the I keep trying to present that to the judge, and it's never the judge doesn't seem to ever want to look at that. And I also want to acknowledge the fact that for the past 3 years, I have been dead last every single time I've been in the courtroom, and statistically speaking, judges always make the worst decisions whenever they have their courts uh, their last client last before lunch. And that's been consistent with me for the past 3 years. I've always been dead last, so I always have gotten the judge at her worst, personality wise. And I understand that the judge might be the smartest person in the room when I go in there, but she's still human, and she's still keeps making bad decisions because she's exhausted.
Yeah, there's not much you can do about.
Yeah. So
that's the problem.
So yeah, so now I'm talking to you, and I'm hoping that that we can put this in front of the judge and make it digestible enough for her to know that we're spending money, and we mean business, and we want to finally acknowledge some of the things that my ex-wife has been doing, so I will stop getting treated like an animal or a criminal, because as it sits right now, I have to be that when she extended a restraining order, I used to have a 24-hour visit every 2 weeks. She reduced it to 5 hours every 2 weeks, and I only get a half an hour phone call once a week that needs to be recorded. I used to be able to call him whenever I wanted on the phone that I gave him. But yeah, she basically bussed me down to 5 hours every 2 weeks, and I can only talk to my son once a week on the phone.
Well, what was the basis for her extending the restraining order for 5 years? What were the allegations?
Well, I mean, the original allegations was because my medical records. You see, I'm 100% disabled because of combat related PTSD, and my ex-wife basically gave the judge my entire medical packet because she had access to them, and she also had access to my emails, which was an example of cyber abuse of what I was going through during our marriage. And I did try to bring up, but that's never acknowledged. That's never acknowledged either. I could also probably bring up financial domestic abuse, because if I had a letter from a real judge, I could bring up evidence to show that there has never been a deposit on her part. For the past 10 years, the account was open, that there's never been one deposit, and she has always made deductions. She always spent and transferred money from the joint account into her personal account, and making sure that there was only maybe $400 in there at any given point. And that level of financial abuse was primarily the reason why I couldn't leave the marriage or the relationship. But I would need a real judge or a letter from a judge, because the banks keep telling me we can't give you those records until you get a letter from a judge to show us that. But the judge is not really interested in doing that. The judge seems to be more interested in just making sure that I should give her plenty of letters from counselors, from therapists, from supervisors, and I give her all these things, but it's never enough. It's always, can you give me more? Can you go out and spend more money on counseling and therapists? And now I'm here trying to talk to a lawyer, see if I can pay a large sum of money up front, so I don't have to keep paying so much throughout the years whenever the judge gets a whim about what else I should do if I want to see my son.
Yeah. So I'm looking at this online. So you've got. That's the original allegation. What about what you have to have in order to renew the restraining order, it has to be because you're a continuing threat. What did she allege that you are? How are you a continuing threat?
I don't know. I just want to see my son, and it,
Yeah.
and my ex-wife has never shown never shown any evidence or any examples that she was afraid of me, but she does show plenty of examples that she wants to keep the restraining order active because she's broken the law plenty of times to make sure that the restraining order stays active. When the restraining order was about to expire, she brought 118 pages of incomplete statements that were meant to be taken out of context, and I already debunked it like in like 220 pages of basically showing this is what she wrote and this was the entire conversation. But I don't think the judge ever read any of that. I think the judge basically got bombarded with paperwork so often that she eventually just gave in and gave my ex-wife everything that she wanted.
Tell me how the child interview went on April 9th. How did that go?
The interview, I got paperwork basically saying that my son likes to see me, but he doesn't like the things that I talk about because my son is my son. Whenever I'm talking to my son, I can hear my ex-wife in the background basically coaching him through, and I can tell whenever I talk to something and it's making my ex-wife upset, she will say she will echo something to my son so he can say it over to me. And a lot of times my son says things to me like, that's none of your business, that's grown-up stuff, don't talk to me about that, or sometimes he'll straight tell me to shut up because you're making my mom upset. But I'm just like, he's 10 and I'm 40, and I don't think he's supposed to be talking to me like this, but he does.
Obviously not.
And I understand my son really wants to keep the peace, and these things are uncomfortable for him, but my ex-wife is acting out of cruelty and fear because she's afraid that the system is going to actually let me see him, and she doesn't want that. My ex-wife wants me out of her life completely, and she doesn't care what I want or what my son wants or even what the judge wants.
What's this review hearing about? Instead of review hearing for May 28th?
Yeah, the judge asked me to give her copies. She wants more letters from the. I want a copy of your medical records, to show that you are emotionally stable among your therapists. And I told her that I had already tried to give. I had already tried to give the judge. No, I tried to give people on the fourth floor my packet of like everything I had, but the people on the fourth floor basically said, well, if we're gonna turn this in, you have to give a copy to your ex-wife. And there were things that I said to the therapist I didn't want my ex-wife, or more importantly my son, basically seeing. So I said, I'm not giving up a copy over my ex-wife. And the people on the fourth says, well, then we're not going to sign it because all the evidence that you give to the judge, you have to give to your ex-wife. And I said, well, aren't I protected under, patient doctor confidentiality that the judge was like, yes, you are, but you can choose not to give her anything.
Right. The judge wants to see it. The thing is that your mental state is at issue.
Mm-hmm.
And therefore your medical are relevant, and she is entitled to see them.
My ex-wife is entitled to see them, or the judge is?
Yeah, both.
Wait, what?
Because especially if you're saying that you're mentally stable, why wouldn't you want her to see it?
Because there were things at the beginning. There were things at the beginning of the sessions that I didn't really want to say to my son. Because
okay. So as far as your medical records, you don't necessarily have to send your whole medical records, just a letter
Well, I went through the VA's avenues, and the VA said that we're not allowed to write state laws because we're federal. And so I asked, trust me, through the year and a half, I was telling her I really need that letter. And, every single time, can you talk to managers or directors or someone so you can give them this, so you can give the judge this letter that she wants written. And she said, the only thing I can give you is your schedule that you've been attending therapy for the past 2 years. And that should be good enough. But it's not good enough for the judge. The judge wants an emotional letter, just like the ones that the supervisor sent her, basically saying things that my son said to me, so she can be emotionally persuaded into believing that the relationship between me and my son are good. She will not look at the numbers. She will not look how long I've been supervised or how long I've been consistent. She wants to be emotionally persuaded, basically.
Yeah, you cut out again. Yeah.
I'm sorry. You're cutting off now.
Okay. So your insurance is through TRICARE?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So you can't see a private therapist.
No, not for free. I mean, I saw the ones from the VA, and I thought those would be good enough. But I guess I have to pay money for I have to pay a private therapist to write a letter to the judge that basically dismissing me from therapy and saying everything, his mental state is fine. I can't go through the VA avenues.
I wonder if a private therapist would review records. Well, that's a tough one.
Well, it's between federal and state law, so there's always complications because federal law is always going to take higher precedence over state law, and what the judge is asking for is I want state employed therapists that's going to keep the state economy going.
That you can't, your insurance is not covered, and she knows that.
The judge or my ex-wife?
Well, the judge also knows that your insurance is through the TRICARE.
Yeah.
That's a federal insurance. Everyone knows that. This is a Navy town. It's a military town.
Oh, okay.
Oh boy. So you don't want her to see the records because of things that are said
during the beginning, yeah. I was talking about how corrupted this. I was talking to the. I didn't think that everything that I said to the therapist was going to be used against me in the court of law, but apparently that's what the judge wants to hear, is that I want to hear everything that was said.
Does she want to see all your records or just the ones?
She said that I want to see your medical. She says I want to see your medical records if we're going to move forward and see that the therapy had helped. She didn't say I want to see all your records.
It'd be interesting if you could just see let's say the last
Yeah, I mean, I could just give her access to my e-benefits account and she can go through all that, but that's basically, it just has summaries of all of my. I'm sorry, we're cutting each other off.
Yeah, a year would be the most favorable, correct?
Yeah.
Last year.
Yeah, last year.
So.
Because they were already.
That shows.
It shows that she was already trying to separate me out of therapy, and because my sessions went from once a week to every other week, and then once a month. That's what she said. That it's like we're not going to be seeing each other every week. We're gonna be going. And I was reading the assignments in the last sessions. It always says the same thing. Eric seems to be, child focused and stable. So I think maybe the next few weeks of that. But I just didn't want my ex-wife or the judge or my son basically seeing what I said when I started going to therapy, because I thought this whole thing was stupid.
Well, I think think what's relevant right now would be the last year and the progress that you've made.
Okay. Yeah. Absolutely.
That's everything. No way. Why would you? You just want to show them that, therapist says you're cutting it back and you're doing well and
Mm-hmm.
everything's great.
Yeah. Okay. So I should just show her the last year.
Yeah.
Okay.
Most to show that, hey, you've come a long way, and here's the records, here's what it shows. And then we typically put like a persuasive argument along with that. Say, hey,
Okay.
I can handle this. I mark my visitation time with my son. I've come a long way, and I'm still doing the work, and I enjoy therapy, and
Okay.
Yeah, because the focus is on you, not on her.
Yeah.
First of all, people invest in family law court all the time, so she's given you specific tasks, and that's to show her that the therapist said you're doing well, and especially with law, you say that she's cutting back on sessions because it's not needed anymore, such frequency, and you're doing a great job.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So I don't know. I don't know if you caught, but I'm also I am disabled, but I'm also autistic. And the judge and the judge and the judge is aware that both me and my son are autistic.
Yeah. Well, that's why it's kind of hard to represent yourself.
Yeah.
Believe it or not, people with autism are very, very common.
Yeah, I mean, we're getting diagnosed a lot more often than we used to, since we're not depending on like fairies.
Right. So, but that's what I think she wants to see.
Okay.
Not from the very at all.
All right. Well, this has been enlightening legal advice. Are you a lawyer?
Okay. Yes, I am. I'm Lisa Hassett.
Oh wow! I feel like I scammed you into just giving me legal advice for free, and I appreciate that.
I'm happy to help. I really am. I do give a free consultation, so I'm happy to help you.
All right. Can I get your email so I can possibly talk to you or call you or maybe commission you in some way?
Sure. It's L Hassett.
Okay.
At HassettFamilyLaw.com.
Elsa Hassett.
HASSETT at HassettFamilyLaw.com.
Okay. All right. Well, next time I'll be sure to send an email about maybe some more documentation. But I really appreciate the talk.
Yeah, I'm really happy to help.
All right. I'll hopefully I'll keep in touch. Thank you.